tournament director, will be with us at about this time. And then on Friday, the guy that really saved the golf tournament himself, who's the executive director, that would be Jack Sammons. He'll join us. He's playing golf the next 2 days. They got a celebrity pro-am out at Spring Creek to raise money for St. Jude tomorrow. So there are people playing golf, raising money for St. Jude. It is outstanding. Yeah, I was just thinking about this. We talk about how the pendulum is swung in college sports to players, which was a free labor force, right, for colleges. How now the players are getting their fair share. We saw that yesterday with the news that SMU, if you're a basketball or football player, $36,000 to play right off the bat. And we see with the Live, well, what they're paying. I mean, what a weird position Cam Smith was in yesterday. That was no win. It'll be continue to be no win through the playoffs, maybe even the President's Cup, because without denying it, it lets you know Cam Smith is leaving for $100 million. No doubt. But back to the point of free labor. Do you know how many people it takes to do shot link with volunteers? Just shot link on this golf course for a tournament? 208 volunteers to do shot link. So when you see all the stats on the websites or you see them on TV and they tell you the drive was 322 yards, he's got 140 to the hole, how many greens in regulation? That's all from shot link. 208 people it takes. I can't remember the entire number that it takes for volunteers to hold this golf tournament. And most of the people that do that, they feel like they are giving St. Jude, which is a wonderful thing. And I am not putting down the system. I am just saying, if you've got, and I'm making this number up, but I think it's probably in the neighborhood, if you've got 2,000 volunteers that are putting on your golf tournament, they don't get paid. They're doing it for the charity of the golf tournament. And they get a sense of fulfillment, so it's a good system. But the PGA is making billions of dollars, right? They're not going to be in this war with Live. And yet their labor force to do these tournaments is volunteer. Just interesting. It couldn't be done any other way that I know of. Or if it did, the players wouldn't be making the kind of money that they're making right now. Food for thought on this day. We'll be making our golf picks. That'll come your way with Johnny Lyon. And filling in for Mickey Barker today is Austin Chin. He is Mickey's right-hand man in public golf. I think you'll find that is he really knows stuff. He's a great teacher, too. Involved with youth golf a lot. Austin Chin will be making picks. And then Jarvis Greer will end our day. So back to yesterday and the decision that was made by a judge in California. Her name, District Judge Beth Lebson Freeman. She decided that Taylor Gooch, Matt Jones, and Hudson Swafford did not make a good enough case where they had irreparable harm. In fact, in her wording on that decision, she made the statement that the position they were in was of their own making. And she pointed out they have made more money by going to the Live that was guaranteed than they would have made had they stayed on the PGA Tour. Wow. Round one goes to the PGA. And the antitrust suit that the 11 players have filed against the PGA, that includes Phil and Bryson DeChambeau that are in that thing. That case can't be heard because they schedule these things way out. That case won't be heard minimum of September of 23, maybe as late as 2025. This thing, which is really a no-win proposition, is going to be around for a while. And it's a real interesting stalemate because the Saudis have endless money, it seems. And the PGA Tour basically has to stand its ground. So I'm not sure anybody's going to give in this, and this thing could take several years before there is any kind of rectifying of it. In the meantime, the word came out from the Telegraph newspaper, a foreign entity, that Cam Smith, according to Cameron Percy, that Cameron Smith and Mark Leishman would be leaving for the Live Tour after they played in these playoffs and maybe even the not the Ryder Cup, but the World Against America, President's Cup. And Smith had to speak yesterday. And Cameron Smith basically said, my focus is absolutely squarely on this FedEx Cup. That's what I'm focused on. And if you're going to hear about any kind of news from me, you're going to hear it from me, not Cam Percy. Interesting thing, though. He didn't say he wasn't going. When they said yes or no, he said no comment. That denial, or lack of denial, tells me he's going. Now, he said he was a man of his word, which tells you that he will play in the President's Cup, so he would not be around for that Live tournament in Boston, but could very well be leaving after that. This, if it does indeed come true, and I have every reason to believe it will, this would mean it's the first player of real consequence in terms of current rankings that would be leaving. All the other players that have gone are either injured, older, haven't won in a while. Most of them have won majors, so they do have some eligibility to still play the majors beyond what their world ranking is, which was pretty smart of the Live to do that, knowing that those guys could still try to build on their legacy, at least through the 3 years that they're playing on the Live Tour, which is what I think most of these agreements are. But Cam Smith, he's a current guy. Now, he'll have 5 years to play in the majors, or 2 years, I think, in the other majors other than the Open, which is 5 years, because that's the one he won. But he is the number one favorite in this tournament this week. He is, what is he, 2 in the world behind Scotty Scheffler, I believe, in the world golf rankings. He's number 2. And he's young. He's in his mid-20s. So he would be the first real future loss for the PGA Tour if that is the case. So that's a salvo that is being lobbed by the Live if they get him, and I think they will. That really hurts the PGA Tour right off the bat. Phil isn't going to win anymore. Phil has given up his ability to play in the Senior Tour. Phil's probably given up his ability to be a PGA Tour commentary. Maybe he'll end up being a commentator for whichever network ends up picking up the Live if they get a contract, which I suspect in the long run, if they keep getting guys like Cam Smith, they'll get. Lots to still play out, and again, we learned yesterday that this case won't even be heard, at least for another year and a month, and possibly 3 years. 3 years. Wow. Crazy stuff. Last night, a little baseball history for you. I'll get to that in a second. I'll let you know. Our title sponsor, and they're always helpful in getting us out here at Southwind in the Hub. That would be Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch, Mississippi, where you'll never pay more than sticker price for a car. I promise, you never pay more than sticker price. Other dealerships, we know, law of supply and demand. I saw a piece, I've told you this a couple of times, where they said $7,000 over sticker price was a good deal. A good deal. At Homer Skelton Hyundai, thanks to Chris True, they're all about doing you right, taking care of you, which is why they get so much customer retention. You'll never pay more than sticker price at the corner of Craft Road, the first exit in Mississippi off Highway 78, which is Lamar and Memphis. You'll never pay more than sticker price. That's why you want to do business with good folks like Homer Skelton Hyundai. And the Family Leisure Studios, well, it has moved out to Southwind, but I will tell you, that their clearance sale, their summer clearance sale, is now in hot swing. There is no question about that, where if you head to I-40 and Whidden Road right now, you can get $2,000 off a swimming pool. Yeah, $2,000 off swimming pools. Get it installed in 2022. You'll be ready for summer of 2023. If you hurry quick, you might get a couple of swims in this year. Plus, if you're a do-it-yourself or family leisure, has specials that are just too good to pass up, with free ladder upgrades, a whole season worth of chemicals. No one else offers that kind of deal. And you can look for patio furniture right now. They're making way for new stuff. Get 30% off what they got right now. That's family leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road. So last night, fantastic story. Love this. Shohei Ohtani did something that only Babe Ruth has ever done in history, which, by the way, was back over 100 years ago. In 1918, Babe Ruth had 10 wins in one season and 10 home runs. Shohei Ohtani got his 10th win last night. And he's hit more than 10 home runs. He's hit 25 to be exact. So he becomes, there were a couple of Negro leaguers that have done this. They did it in the 20s, the 1920s. But Babe in 1918 did that, and Shohei Ohtani 104 years later did it last night with his 10th W. And also, and this, it's just amazing to me. Also, now he becomes the first guy ever. As I mentioned, he had 25 home runs. He's also, after last night, struck out 100 batters. He becomes the first player in the history of Major League Baseball to ever have 25 home runs and 100 strikeouts in a single season. Just great stuff. I'm a little surprised that he wasn't moved by the Angels. He thought he was going to be moved by the Angels. But he's an Angel at least for the rest of this year. I believe he becomes a free agent next year. But what an unreal story, honestly, that this guy is pulling off. 100 strikeouts and 25 home runs in 1 year. We'll never see that again, I don't think, unless Shohei Ohtani himself is able to accomplish that. Oh, and one last story, and we mentioned this a little bit yesterday with Russell Copeland. And there is no question Roger Goodell wants a 1-year suspension without pay to be the punishment for Deshaun Watson. And he used the word predatory behavior, which I think in the mediator who was hired to assess the penalty by the NFL used that term. Now, she gave a 6-game suspension. And he wants a lot more. I don't know if it will ultimately end up in a compromise, because right now we're between 6 games and we're between 1 year. And while we're in this zone of waiting, he gets to play. We'll have to wait and see exactly how all of that plays out. But there's no doubt Roger Goodell wants a 1-year suspension. You think about it, Deflategate was 4 games. 6 games with 26 sexual harassment or worse allegations against him. You can almost understand the commissioner's stance in all of this. But then again, he wasn't found guilty of anything, right? I mean, the settling changed everything. There was no criminal charges. This is, for minds better than mine, but certainly a lot of food to think about. The great storylines that are here, the number 1 player, as we mentioned, Scottie Scheffler. He is 7th, believe it or not, on the PGA website power rankings for this tournament. Cam Smith won, Patrick Cantlay 2, Tony Finau, who's hotter than anybody and has played well at this golf tournament, he is 3. Rory is 4, Xander Schauffele 5, Matthew Fitzpatrick 6, and Scheffler, who won those 4 tournaments early, hasn't done much really since Augusta, he's 7. Justin Thomas, a former champion here, is 8, Sung Jae Im 9, Spieth 10. I was a little surprised, as high as 12 Right after Will Zalatoris is Junyoung Kim, who also goes by Tom, who won to get into this thing. Yeah, I need to check the world rankings on Kim because he could be a shock pick here. Certainly a terrific player. John Rahm is behind him. Billy Horschel after that. Sam Burns, who's definitely a legitimate candidate. Brandon Wu, I think, is a guy who could make some noise here. He could be a shock pick. It's all good stuff. Adam Scott's in the field. Old guys like Stuart Sink, Keegan Bradley, Matt Kuchar are in this thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you got the full field, so we'll be talking leaderboard tomorrow. Then we'll be talking cut on Friday, where that thing might lie. And then Saturday and Sunday, it'll be the top 70 or so in the world that will be. And they'll be moving on to round 2, the BMW, which is in Boston, if I recall correctly. So stage is set, weather absolutely on the money. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow they are saying that humidity will be lower. Rain's going to go away after tonight, and it'll be delightful out here. It'll get into the upper 80s, lower 90s, but it won't be oppressive like we have seen in the past. This portion of the show brought to you by the doctor. You know what that doctor is. That is Poppy's Pilsners. That comes your way from our friends who are with Grind City Brewing. This is local, made right here in Memphis. You can get it in 6-packs or even 15-packs. I like that. You can ask your favorite retailer about it. Everybody's got it, I promise. It's refreshing. It's local. I don't think it gets any better than that. If you haven't tried it, what are you waiting for? And again, made right here. It's light, crisp. It's called Pils. And I love the way they play the doctor thing off. But it's a Pilsner, which is really best enjoyed ice cold, especially after maybe you've come out here and walked with your favorite player 18 holes. You'll be thirsty, and there's nothing that will satisfy that thirst than something that the doctor ordered. Poppy's Pils, that great Pilsner from Grind City Brewing. We take a break. When we come back, it'll be fun to make some golf picks. Austin Chin filling in for Mickey Barker, Johnny Lyon, J-Mo, who's out here filling in for Johnny Radio. He will join us here for these picks as well. So stick around. Right at Southwind, and we got so many great sponsors, including Landers Ford and First National Bank and Trust, for bringing us out to the hub right here on Sports 56.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you have nightmares about your finances? Are you struggling to save for emergencies? Are you wanting to buy a home and not sure how to get the funds to do so? Well, it's time to get a handle on your finances with a personalized session with Nicasia, your money coach and certified personal financial counselor with Tate Enterprise. She is available to help you create your vision of financial freedom. It all starts by booking your session today at NicasiaTate.com. That's NAKASIA Tate.com.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering has been our specialty for more than 38 years. Corky's makes it easy for you to impress your guests at parties, family reunions, weddings, or just treating your hardworking employees to a great meal to say thank you. Let us do all the work. Come to your location, set up, and serve your hungry guests an all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $8.99 per person.
Encore flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
Drive like a pro and support a great cause during the sales drive at Landers Ford and Landers Ford South. We've provided 100 new Fords to the pros at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Now they're all being sold with demo prices. A portion of the proceeds go directly to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. That's 100 new Ford Explorers and Expeditions, demo priced to sell now. This is a once-a-year opportunity to upgrade for less and support a great cause. Visit LandersMemphis.com or come see us at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, and Landers Ford North in Covington. With our Landers Easy Pass, you can get top dollar for your trade-in to help you save even more. Don't miss your chance to pay less during the Landers Sales Drive. Reserve your demo-priced new Ford, driven by a pro at the FedEx St. Jude Championship, and lock in low APR financing. Landers Ford and Landers Ford South. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Lonely feeling deep inside.
No lonely feelings out here at TPC Southwind. Lots of folks coming. Everybody's got a smile on their face this first day, Pro-Am day, no pressure on anybody. Well, maybe on some of those guys playing in the Pro-Am who've never really played in front of a crowd or had to play the ball down or had to deal with the length and the toughness of Southwind. Those few lucky guys, they feel a little pressure. Otherwise, lots of joy out here for sure. You know, I always feel that joy when I have Dinstals. I love Dinstals. I love the people that make Dinstals. I really do. They're really dedicated folks. And they always have something cooking, like they got a summer sizzler special every week during the summer. This week, maple pecan pralines. Oh, my gosh. Brown sugar and butter blended with crisp southern pecans makes this traditional sweet treat for those lazy, hazy days of summer. Great for a gift, or you can even melt them and then pour them over your favorite ice cream, which is something I always promise myself I'm going to do, and I've never done it. But does that not sound incredible? Whew, my goodness. It is, by the way, a great teacher's gift. If you're looking when you're coming back to school, you want to brighten your teacher's eyes and, you know, maybe get a little favor with that teacher for your student. Nothing like maple pecan pralines, which is the summer sizzler. Chocolate-covered strawberries, almost over now, the season when football comes in. Say goodbye to the strawberries, grapes, and pineapple. They're also available this weekend. Nobody dips them with the fondant like Dinstals. And in honor of Elvis Week this week, they're dipping banana bites, fresh banana slices on a vanilla wafer covered with a rich milk chocolate. Oh, my. Tastes like chocolate-covered banana pudding. All you got to do is get to Laurelwood, Germantown, Collierville, Pleasant View, where they make it, or downtown Dinstals, making those sweet traditions for over 120 years. J-Mo joins me now. He'll be doing Johnny Radio's segment, but he's always a part of our golf picks, and as usual, you're in last.
That's right.
It seems to be your.
Well, I'm picking winners when you're out of town, though, you know. But that doesn't give me any credit, I'm afraid.
It may, but last I looked, you have made 6. Well, you're closing the gap. 6.6. Mickey's at 6.8 mil. I'm at 7.1, and Johnny is about 150,000 ahead of me.
Neck and neck.
It is neck and neck, and a win here could change everything. Last to first could easily happen. So, we'll be making those picks. But this is your first time ever. I know you've been to this tournament before, but to cover it And it's obviously early on, but what's your sense of it? Any differences?
Certainly. Walking in this morning, being so close to like Rory and all these, I walked right past Rory. I heard what he's talking about with his caddies. I'm walking back. That was a little awestruck. I wanted to ask him something, but I couldn't muster up a question. So I've never been so close to the athletes before. I was certainly awestruck when I walked in this morning.
Yeah, and Rory actually looks a little bigger than you think.
Oh, he's a big guy, strong guy.
Yeah. He wasn't that way when I first encountered him at Augusta National when he was an amateur coming to play for the first time.
A little more weight on him.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely I think it was his fiancée at the time, Carolyn Wozniacki, who was the tennis pro. She got him fit. And then, of course, he broke her heart, broke off the engagement. But she's survived. I think she's with a hockey star now. In the meantime, Austin Chin, Mickey Barker's right-hand man, are you there? Are you ready to fill in for the great Mickey Barker on these picks?
I'm here. How are you?
Good. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with your youth program, because I know you're heavily involved with that stuff for Memphis City Golf.
Yeah, we just had the Overton Park Junior Open. We had 4 days of great golf. Monday, we had 144 kids qualify for their seeding, just like match play with March Madness. And then Tuesday they started their match play, and it's one of those things where you win or go home. So every time you won, you got to play the next day. And then on Thursday we had Joe Birch, kind of the MC of the event, and Lauren Roberts was handing out medals to all the kids. So all in all, it was a hot week. But I think I saw more smiles than tears. But we had a great time. And then a couple weeks ago, another event, not towards children, mainly towards golfers of all ages, but we had our first annual parent-child tournament also at Overton Park. And,
wow, I didn't know about that one.
After being in competitive mode for the most of the month, we kind of turned the dial to the fun side of the meter. And, man, I think we had the youngest player at age 7, and the oldest player was age 87. So
I love it.
Make those memories with your family members. I think that's something that needs to happen every year.
And Overton Park obviously is clearly back. And then you had a picture with Colin Morikawa, if I recall correctly, when he came with some St. Jude kids. That had to be a fun event.
That's right. We had, again, at Overton Park, Alsite contacted us, wanted to have a little event. Colin was the headline, and we had 5 former patients out there, and Colin showed us his skills and kind of gave lessons and tips to those 5 kids. I remember one little girl, she was so nervous, and, after about 5 minutes, you could really see that smile come back out. And we had some media out there, and, everyone did interviews. Colin hit a few shots for us, took a lot of pictures, signed a few autographs. So he was one of the nicest people you could, have out there for an environment like that.
I know he said something to the effect of, I hadn't really done the St. Jude thing before, but now it's on my schedule. Something to that effect, and it was quite moving. Johnny Lyon, who is our leader in the Pick'em contest, about 150,000 ahead of me. This is the 65th straight year that Memphis has had a PGA Tour event. I think it's like the third, maybe longest running PGA Tour event.
Right.
It is incredible. I'm not saying, Johnny, you've been at every one of them, but you've been at most of them, going back to Colonial and the South Course and the Geiberger 59. There have been so many great moments. Dustin Johnson jarring one here. Norman finishing birdie to win a tournament years ago. What are your moments that you recall just at the top of your head?
Yeah. Hey, Wolo. Hey, Austin. Good to talk to you again. And talk to you since you were at Germantown Country Club. But
have we lost you?
Johnny?
I think we lost Johnny.
Zach's getting him back on.
Yeah, we'll get him back on, yeah. Austin, you got a favorite moment?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Do you have a favorite moment from the FedEx St. Jude Classic or Danny Thomas Memphis Open, whatever it may be, whatever acronym we had at the time?
Oh, gosh. I've been a Memphian for all my life, and I've been going to the tournament, every year at Southland. I never went when I was at Columbia. I think my favorite moment was Dustin Johnson holing out on 18.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've never seen anything like it.
I was on the 18th doing the PA, and I don't think I've ever heard a larger cheer. And we've seen moments where tournaments have been won on that green at the end. Nothing like, because it was like total shock. It was like, and the ball came and it started going toward the hole when it went in. Like, I've never heard a roar like that. Johnny, have we got you back? Yep.
Not yet, it sounds like.
Not yet.
Well, what about the year Phil was coming down the stretch to win the tournament and hit the ball, what was it, like less than 3 feet away from the hole? He had to hole out to force a playoff, and he missed it. That was a wild year as well. I can't remember what year, 2016 maybe?
That sounds about right. Phil truly was good to this tournament. Whatever you think of him, he took the $200 million from Liv. But he was a guy who, when there weren't a lot of people, in fact, that year that I mentioned, the leaderboard was like a Corn Ferry Tour. Mm-hmm. When Fabian Gomez won that thing, he was here. He was one of the few guys. I think there were like 7 top 50 guys that year. And now you got, 122 top out of the top 125?
Stronger field.
That is. It's the best field ever. There's no question about that. All right, we better make some picks here before we run out of time. And hopefully we'll get Johnny back before it is his turn. J-Mo, you – okay.
Good.
Hey, all right, while you're back, let me ask you, what is your favorite moment over these 65 years? You got one or two?
I do, yeah. Oh, yeah, well, I caddied out there in 1973 when Dave Hill won, but my guy was Frank Beard. And he made the cut, so I got to caddy 5 days, and I'm 1 for 1 on caddying. But 77 and Al Geiber was fantastic. 96 was, I think, a great year. John Cook shot 26 under.
Oh, I forgot about that. And that's when they ripped up the course and redid it. They didn't like 26 under here.
Oh yeah, and John Cook was a great champion, and it was so hot that week. But Nota Begay, that was a great year. 2000 when his brother caddied for him, Chip, and Jim Gallagher won in 95. That was great. I got to hang out with his wife, Sissy, and we watched Jim in it. And but the Greg Norman in 97, when he birdied the last 3 holes, there was more excitement at the St. Jude than I've ever seen. I'll never forget Ed McDougall was riding on the back of a golf cart with the flag from the 18th hole, riding with Tony Navarro, Greg Norman's caddy. And it was a great year.
Oh yeah, and one of the odd things that I think about, I was thinking about it on the way in with those floods that we had yesterday. I'll never forget Phil Cannon and him running around trying to figure out what to do, and they canceled the afternoon round when the rains came down in torrents. The lake on 18 rose over the green. There were cars in lots 1, 2, and A and B that were floating. Floating. Do you remember that? I can't remember the year. I'm going to say that was in the early 2000s. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hopefully the rains, if they come today, won't do that to us. And for the the tournament,
it's Joe Trebo and Phil Cannon. I mean, they were a huge part of the tournament.
Oh yeah. Dutch Akers, all those old guys that helped to bring the tournament here to begin with. It's that's I mean, it's we're indebted to a bunch of folks that made golf history here for sure. All right, let's get to it. J-Mo, who do you like?
I deliberated between Rory and I had Fitzpatrick on there, but I think I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele this week. He's playing good golf. He has a couple weeks off. I'm going to go with Xander.
I would not have seen that coming. That means, Austin, you got a lot of people there.
Yeah, I think I've got to go with the hottest golfer on the planet right now, Tony. I mean, 2 wins in the last month. Thank you.
How can you do that to me? I was going to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rory on the board now.
Ah, boy. Patrick Cantlay's there.
Rory's still out there. Scotty's
See,
out there.
Yeah.
I think Cam Smith's going to be totally distracted.
Really?
I wonder if people will boo him. I really do. I have no idea what's in store for him, so I can't go with him. I could go Patrick Cantlay, but he played terribly his last time out when he was in contention, had a bad round.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to go Rory.
Okay.
I'm going to go Rory. Johnny?
Yep, I'm going to have to go with my Masters champion, Scotty Scheffler.
Good pick.
I could have gone that way. All right. Now we go with Shock. That's 51 or below. Who do you like?
I am going to take number 51. I deliberated. We talked about Brandon Steele walking by earlier.
I thought you were going Brandon Steele. I started writing it down.
I'm going to take Russell Henley, though. He's 51. He's playing good golf. Coming off a couple good weeks there, so I'm going to take Russell Henley.
Okay. Austin.
So I met this guy years ago when he was still at Alabama, and I was like, man, he's got a really good golf swing. He's going to make it one day. And now he's playing in Memphis, going with Davis Riley.
Yep.
Love it.
Would you check real quick for me? I'm almost certain that Thigala is below 51.
He definitely is. He's on my list.
Yeah, I think he is.
I'm taking Thigala for sure.
Picked him a couple times.
Yeah, but I thought he's moved up. I was worried about that. All right, Johnny, last pick.
Last pick, I'm taking Russell Henley.
He's already taken.
That's who I took, yeah.
J-Mo took him.
Oh. Keith Mitchell?
Okay.
Keith Mitchell is good. All right.
Great minds think alike there with Russell Henley, though.
Yeah. He is our leader. So J-Mo's got Xander and Russ Henley. Austin stole Tony Finau from me. Davis Riley is his shocker. I got Rory and Thigala. Johnny takes Scheffler, the number one player in the world, and Keith Mitchell as his shock. Gentlemen, we appreciate it, and we'll be talking Boston and round 2 of the playoffs next Friday. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good deal. Thank you, Wolo. See you, Austin. See you, Jim.
Appreciate it.
See y'all.
See you.
Got that in the books. So close. Anybody can still win this.
That's right. Neck and neck.
That is the absolute beauty of it all. I mentioned, humidity's gone a little low, but it's still going to be hot for the next couple of months. Don't forget my friends at Conway. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric, and, of course, that famous tune-up. For only $69, they do the 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up in your house. In the summer, they give you a Freon leak check. Then they go outside, and they check and clean, like taking your system to the car wash. All the dirt, all the grime, all the leaves, it comes out. And then, this is a new twist, they're always adding things, never seeming to up the price, but they're going to put this little special Teflon coating to help those blades against the hot Memphis sun. Bottom line is your house is cool. It does it in an efficient way, which means you save money on your energy bill. And the last great thing about it is if your system stays in tune, it lasts longer. These things aren't cheap. All you got to do to make sure you're doing the correct maintenance is call 384-3511. Conway Services, 384-3511. Make sure you get the tune-up the right way today. We take a break. When we come back from Action News 5, and they're going to be out here at the golf tournament too doing the news. Jarvis Greer comes your way in just a minute.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Gabe?
Okay, here's the idea.
Well, let's just jump right in.
A Central Barbecue race.
What are you talking about?
We race to see which one of us can go to each of the 4 Central Barbecue locations and eat at each one faster.
You mean eat at all 4 in one day?
As fast as you can.
Does everything have to be a competition with you?
Life is a competition, my friend, and this way we get to compete and eat.
That seems like a lot of food.
Do you want to be a winner or not?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Well, you're not going to be. There can only be one winner of the Great Central Barbecue Race, and that's going to be me.
The Great Central Barbecue Race, so you've already named it.
Named it? I've already printed posters.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We welcome you back in. We are out at Southwind. We'll be here all day today, all day tomorrow, all day Friday. Man, we love being out here for the FedEx St. Jude Championship, no doubt about it. We do thank Landers Ford and First National Bank and Trust, the other sponsors. We got a lot. Bellyacres, Barton Stone, Lucchese's, Mid-South, Hobbies, Ronnie Grizzani's, Hilltop Liquors, Coletta's, Sleep Cheap, Olive Branch Motorsports, Jason's Deli, Golf Sticks, Pretzels. If you haven't tried those, they come from Old Waverly and Mossy Oak. They are fantastic. And then there's the 10th Inning Sports Bar. If you're inspired by watching these guys, for a reminder, you get good rates at Miramichi, and you get a golf course that is just spectacular. 330 acres of natural beauty, 12 minutes from downtown Memphis and Woodstock, 7,400 yards of championship test for sure when it comes to golf. Natural beauty all over the place. As Golf Week liked to say a couple of years ago, if you play golf in the state of Tennessee, this is one of the golf courses you have got to absolutely try. And you know, every time you play, you get golf balls as part of the package for practice. They have a driving range, unlimited balls. You get your cart. It's all part of the deal. Best practice facilities of any public course, most private courses, to be honest with you. It is outstanding, and you will be challenged, and you'll love that back nine. It's like taking a walk through the woods with a meandering stream. I mean, it is perfect. And afterwards, especially if the weather's cool, like it is this morning, you take a look outside the terrace, 10,000 square foot view. Really a perch that has the view of 9 and 18 and the sky and ponds. It's gorgeous. Best view in all of Shelby County. All you got to do is get to Miramichi. Just heard this great story. Guy came by who's going to be a caddy today for the Pro-Am. His name is David Morgan. 20 years ago, his daughter Macy got cancer. It's in remission now here 20 years later. She's 26 years old. Part of the story was he was playing a golf game, and I believe David himself took Tiger. She said, I want to take a girl. He said, okay, who do you want? She said, Morgan Pressel, because she likes that name. She said, is he, she asked her dad, is she any good? Oh, yeah, she's real good. Okay. So they played the game and everything else. Literally, a day or two later, the people at St. Jude call and they say, we'd like for Macy to go to the shoot in Florida because they started this Eagles program that they had for St. Jude, and they wanted to make her a sort of a spokesperson. I think she was 9 years old at that particular time. And so the Morgan family agreed to doing that. And she went down, and David, the dad, said, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Who's the player that you're going to photograph Macy with? And she said, Morgan Pressel. Is that not weird how these things work? That is the way it was. And it's all the programs and the giving that has allowed us to get to where we are. I know there's a bunch of fundraisers. There's a Spring Creek Pro-Am with celebrities tomorrow, all to raise money for St. Jude. But look what they do. Look what they do. Listen to the story of Macy Morgan, and you understand the beauty of this whole thing. In the meantime, Jarvis Greer, as he always does, to end our Wednesdays, joins us now. Jarva, you're going to be out here this week doing shows?
Oh, yeah. Action News 5's blowing it out this week. Of course, it's on NBC for the first time ever, on their network. Yeah, this means the first time ever. So, yeah, we're going to definitely take advantage of it. We'll be on the air with 4 30-minute broadcasts during the early afternoon, 4 o'clock Thursday, 4 o'clock Friday, 1:30 on Saturday, 12:30 Sunday. So we'll have those, and then, of course, we're going to do extended sportscast on the golf tournament each night of the tournament at 10 o'clock. So busy week of golf here in Memphis, and you can catch it all on Action News 5.
I had not realized it has been on CBS. It might have been on ABC a couple of times, way back when. I know that it's been on CBS the vast majority of the
CBS
times.
Forever.
Pardon? Yeah.
Forever,
but I did not realize this is the first time it's NBC covered. Wow.
Yeah. I think that the contract has, I think it skips next year and it goes back to NBC for the next 3 years after that.
Where will you be perched for your deal? People want to come and see you guys.
We have a broadcast position just in the vicinity of the media center. You know where the big media center is?
Oh, yeah.
They're near the yeah, we're like down the course a little bit from there. So we'll be able to see and hear all the goings on, and we'll bring it as best we can to the folks at home that tuning in that time of day, have a chance to watch. And we'll have a lot of stories on everything but golf. We got a lot of restrictions from the network as far as what we can show. We can show some golf, but there'll be some good stories about people coming out to the tournament and the things to do, and just how big a deal this is for Memphis to get this event. And it's still a big deal regardless of what's happening with the LIV tour.
Well, you've been covering this thing for a long time. This LIV tour, is really truly. I mean, it is one of the biggest stories that we've had in years in pro golf. I'm not sure there's ever been anybody that's gone after the PGA Tour like this is.
Well, not like
so this becomes a major story. And the first round was won by the PGA Tour yesterday when the district judge in California, Beth Labson Freeman, basically said, because the stay that they were seeking, the three golfers, Taylor Gooch, Matt Jones, and Hudson Swafford, was for irreparable harm. And she said, there is no irreparable harm. You put yourself in this position. It was of your own making. And now you know that their antitrust suit won't be heard for at least a year and a month and could be 3 years. So this thing is going to be a big story for a long time.
Well, and talking about the irreparable harm, she put it in her court filings that, these LIV golfers will be coming on the FedEx Cup Tour, which starts here in Memphis Thursday, and they'll be wearing all their LIV stuff, advertising another golf outfit. So that would be irreparable harm to the PGA Tour. So that's palpable because you don't want to be turning on a PGA event and seeing these guys advertising LIV. But
right.
Hey, at least they're going to be playing golf here in Memphis, and we still have most of the best golfers on the planet playing right here in Flux City, which is better than any golf fan could ever imagine.
We are just about 3 weeks away from Memphis, Mississippi State. You and I will be in Starkville for the call on radio on the network for that game. I went to practice the other day, man. I'm still convinced our offense is going to be outstanding. Hennigan looks great. He's gained 18 pounds of muscle. I think you're deep at receiver. I think you're deep at running back. Offensive line, to me, look good. You got guys like Likes and Gamble back and Matt Dale, Austin Myers. I think the line will be pretty good. If I've got a concern, Jarvo, it is defensive line with the loss of Morris Joseph earlier and then Maurice White just recently. There's two guys. I think Morris Joseph might have been a starter, really, when all was said and done. White would have played significant time in the rotation. I think if we're looking for a weakness, is that fair to say that that's the weakness?
Well, that would be fair to say right now. We'll see how they've recruited very well, and they redshirted a lot of guys, so they've got some guys coming up in the pipeline that should be able to step right in that role. Cameron Jackson, I think it is, has come on and played a lot. Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, he came on last year and played a lot down the stretch. I think when Mojo was hurt, Morris Joseph. So he got a lot of experience and it got in the backfield, got in that offensive backfield as a defensive lineman. So I think they have got people that they are pretty confident in playing. And, I don't think you go on the transfer portal this late in the game unless you think that, hey, there's competition. I may not play or I may not play as much. So, yeah, that's definitely – the D-line is definitely a spot to look at. It's tough to lose players like that. One thing, I think they're going to – I am all for players having the ability to move. I'm all for that. I'm all for the NIL. I think on the transfer portal, they're going to have to come up with an idea that, okay, you can enter at this time, and then you've got to get out by this time. So everybody knows where it is, and you can get you can get your rosters right and be ready to go. Because when you transfer right, in the middle of training camp, that makes it kind of difficult for everybody. Where you're leaving your previous team in a tough spot, and where are you going to go on your future team if you haven't even worked out with them? So that's my only deal and restriction I put on that.
Well, I do think there needs to be a season of movement. I'm with you. I in order for a team to be able to establish what their depth might be, what they might need, there needs to be some structure as to when you can transfer. There's also discussion that it will be unlimited transfers. Right now, you get one-time transfer. I guess if you did that early in your career and then became a graduate student, you would then be granted another year of transfer. Mm-hmm. But the word is
graduate student. He's already graduated. So okay,
right.
I get that.
But would you be for unlimited transfers? And if so, with the way the setup is now, and schools like SMU, just to go to school there to play basketball or football, you're immediately going to get $36,000 as part of this new deal that their collective has. $36,000 just to come. That's not any other deal that you might make. So if you have unlimited moves plus that kind of salary, basically to come, you're talking about free agency unlimited every year without contracts. Is that possible to have a system that way?
Well, they don't even have that in quote unquote real professional sports.
Right.
You can't just up and move every year. They remember the original Grant and Aid scholarship was a 4-year deal, and then they turned it into it's 4 years, but it's renewable every year, which means it's a 1-year deal. They can out recruit you or move you out or whatever. But I think if you start going down that road and you're paying people basically to play, they can call it what you want. You're paying them to play. I think
you're paying them to come to play.
You're paying them to come to play, and I think then you're going to get into a contract.
Let's put it like this: in the same market, North Texas and TCU. TCU has in its favor it's a Power 5. As opposed to SMU and certainly North Texas. But if you've got a choice to go to those three schools, if you've got a choice between those three schools, and one's going to pay you $36,000 on the front end just to come, and you know you're going to get that every year you're there, and you can still do other deals, where are you going?
Yeah, it would seem to me that you're headed to SMU if that's if that's all it is. But look at this though, Dave. Every school now has a collective. Every school has some consortium of, big time donors or whatever that are putting money in the pot to make this kind of thing work. I think that $36,000 equals out to about $3.5 million.
It's $3.5 million. I don't think every school's got that kind of money. I don't think the University of Memphis has a collective that can say that they've got $3.5 million to pay every football and basketball player $36,000.
Maybe not.
As much as I wish they did.
I'm not going to say that they don't. Now that gauntlet has been laid down, because there are people here with some deep pockets. Now, will they want to spend it? Depending on whether or not, a lot of things are going on right now, with the stadium and trying to get it, put together to make it attractive and all the rest of that stuff. And, but there's some things you're going to have to do, and some of it's a leap of faith. I hate to say it, but, there's money out there to be had. My whole deal is, how much movement. I get we just came out of the COVID year. You got the extra year COVID, plus you get a graduate transfer year. So we've had like 3 and 1 in the past 2 years. But the COVID is going to go away. That COVID transfer is going to go away. Replacing it with unlimited transfer, I just don't know if that's going to fly. I just don't think that's going to fly.
I think eventually, I don't know who's going to do it, but eventually there has to be an NIL limit. There has to be a structure in place. Call it a salary cap. I don't care what you term it, but there has to be some fiscal sense and somewhat of a level playing field for everybody to be able to compete. And we're not there yet. It's not there. And what SMU has done, I think, is given them a huge advantage. They should become a much better football school in the next couple of years.
Well, it's kind of like, what Miami did with their consortium that they put together. And you'll see more schools, announcing that. There are some schools that do it already. They just haven't announced it. You know what I mean? They just don't say, hey, look, we do what we do, and y'all go off and jump out. It's different when you want to drive around a flash car with a Volkswagen engine in it, or whether or not you got a Porsche and it just looks like a regular vehicle. You know what I mean? They don't have to. They don't have to advertise. They already got it. They're already doing it. So
he is Jarvis Greer. You can see him out here starting tomorrow. I'll be looking for you out here in your new perch.
All right, we'll be there.
And we'll do this again next Friday. Thank you, my friend, or next Wednesday. Yep. That is Jarvis Greer from Action News 5. That'll do it for me. Don't forget, though, J-Mo standing by. He fills in for Johnny Radio. We're out here all week. Come see us. We are at the Hub. And, again, we thank Landers Ford and First National Bank and Trust, our title sponsors, for bringing us out to the FedEx St. Jude Championships. Have a great day, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow.